In a previous video in this course, I created a member user in my tenant. Now I would like to enhance the security for that user. And when I say enhance the security is I want to ensure that when the user signs in to my tenant, I want to make sure that that user uses multiple forms of authentication. Multiple forms of authentication being that they must have a username and password. So that's one form of authentication plus a second one. That second form of authentication can be through an authenticator app. It could be through a PIN on a mobile phone. The user has many different choices as to what that second form of authentication would be. But I want two forms of authentication. This is a great way to ensure that your Azure resources are as secure as possible and that malicious users are unable to use a very simple username and password potentially that a user has left unsecured in order to access your resources. So let's go ahead and enable multi-factor authentication. I'm going to first go into my users and search for Mike B that I created earlier. And now I would like to enable Mike B for MFA. So I'm going to click here on per user MFA. And I'm being brought into another portal. Now, this portal is probably the oldest portal that exists in Azure. It actually uses the old naming of Azure, and you'll notice in the browser window that it says Windows Azure, the old name of Microsoft Azure. It hasn't had that name in many, many years. And this is where I'm going to actually enable Mike B for MFA. So I'm going to click on the search and I'm going to look for Mike. And I see here Mike B. So if I click on Mike B, I want to enable the user for MFA. I can click here on enable. As well, I have manage user settings. Now, manage user settings are essentially MFA specific settings or the way that the user will be able to use MFA. Now, if I click here on enable, it's telling me, are you sure that you would like to enable MFA? There are specific implications to enabling MFA for this user. And yes, I am sure. And done. Mike B is now enabled for MFA. What that means actually is that he has the option to use MFA. He is not required to use MFA. In order to require him to use MFA, I need to enforce MFA. So I'm going to click on Mike, click on enforce, and that will require Mike to use MFA at the next signing. Typically, most administrators will enable MFA at first, allow a certain period for users to sign in or to register into MFA because they will be prompted to use MFA, but they won't require it until a specific time after that. Also, many administrators will not start with users, but they will start with administrators. And the most key administrators, such as billing administrators, global administrators, password administrators, service administrators, or user administrators. Basically, all the administrators that have very high level of permissions inside of your tenant. Now, these administrators, here I have a view for those administrators, so I can search for those administrators, find them in my tenant, and then enable them for MFA. As a security practice, a lot of administrators will create an account that is a global administrator or a billing administrator that's not tied to an actual user. So it's usually recommended that if myself as a user, I have my own user account to access my mailbox and my resources, and I am the administrator of my organization, I should have a separate account that I use for administrative purposes. And that account should always have MFA enabled for it.